Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here today for this great announcement for us in our community. For those who don't know me, I am Al Lagimodiere. I am the MLA for the Selkirk region, and on behalf of the province and my colleagues, I'm honored to be here with you all today. I want to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 1 territory, and the land in which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, the Aninewek, the Anisiniwa, the Dakota, the Dene people, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. Joining us today, we have the Honourable Sarah Guimard, Minister of Conservation and Climate, the Honourable Kathy Cox, Minister of Sports, Culture and Heritage, and also joining us is Lois Wales, Co-Chair of the Kennedy House Renewal Committee. I'd also like to ask if other members of the Kennedy House Renewal Corporation are here. Just if you're here, just give us a wave so we all will know you're. Yeah, great to see us here today. Today we are gathered here in the historic site of Captain Kennedy House. This site is part of Manitoba's rich culture and part of the deep roots planted by Indigenous and Métis founders. This was the home of William Kennedy, a prominent Métis leader that took up the cause of the Métis free trade rights. He had a major role to play in the establishment of the Manitoba Historical and Scientific Society. These are just a few of his tireless efforts to bring the Northwest into Confederation. This site is another reminder of his dedication and influence in Manitoba's history. I would like to now invite Minister of Conservation and Climate, the Honourable Sarah Guimard, to speak.
Thank you very much for that, Minister Lagimodiere. I appreciate you emceeing today's event on your home turf. And I appreciate that everyone who has come out on a very chilly morning, but hopefully this is warm news to help us keep warm. So I'm very happy to be here with you all today at this historic site and bring greetings on behalf of Premier Heather Stefanson and the Government of Manitoba. Thank you to everyone who has been able to join us. We are here to celebrate this wonderful place, Captain Kennedy House, and announce our plans to make sure we sustain this incredible house and property for generations to come on behalf of the citizens of Manitoba. I'm so pleased to announce the Manitoba government is investing $350,000 to support the first phase of the Kennedy House restoration project. This funding is being provided to address structural concerns and to preserve and maintain the heritage elements of this historic building in in River Road Provincial Heritage Park. Additional phases of this restoration project will be done in the near future. Our government is proud to have made record investments in the restoration, conservation, and long-term sustainability of our province's designated heritage sites, recognizing their important roles in promoting and understanding and appreciation of Manitoba's rich, diverse history now and for years to come. As many of you know, Kennedy House has been a popular tourist attraction site, impressive in its architecture and historical significance. However, structural concerns have made it necessary to close it back in 2015. As Minister Lagimodiere alluded to, this house before us was built in 1866 and was the home of William Kennedy, a prominent Métis leader in Western Canada. Mr. Kennedy, who was born in Manitoba in 1814, was renowned for many things, including leading one of the Arctic searches for the lost Franklin expedition. He was an author, explorer, Hudson's Bay Company employee, a local leader, and one of the founders of the Manitoba Scientific and Historical Society in 1879. He was truly a remarkable individual, which makes the preservation of this house an even more important task for our government. This site is one of just 7 stone houses that remain along the Red River. Kennedy House has stood the test of time, drawing many visitors to the Tea House and Red River House Museum inside. The grounds on which the house stands have been expertly maintained despite the house being closed these past 6 years. This funding announced today will allow the first phase of restoration to move forward in the new year, providing the structural upgrades that will ensure this marvelous building can continue to be a safe and intriguing site where area residents and visitors can explore and enjoy our province's heritage. I would like to thank all of those in attendance today. You have all played a very big role in preserving this site through your advocacy, education, and leadership. Thank you for being here and for supporting the important restoration of this heritage house and property of a truly remarkable Manitoban. Thank you, merci, miigwech. And now I'd like to invite Lois Wales from the Board of Kennedy House to share a few words.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Alan. First of all, on behalf of the committee, I would like to thank the ministers, Clarkson and Guimard, and Alan Lagimodiere, our MLA, for the announcement of the first phase of the restoration of Kennedy House. Kennedy House Renewal Committee looks forward to further announcements of more phases to restoration in the coming months and to continued talks about the use of the building and the grounds. The committee looks forward to sharing the stories with all Manitobans about the contributions not only of Kennedy, but the Red River Métis to Manitoba. We would also like to thank Cindy Tugwell of Heritage Winnipeg and other provincial organizations that have supported us in our efforts to have Kennedy House restored. A special thank you must go to Irene Foster, a longtime resident of St. Andrews, for her dedication to this project and preserving the history of the region. Thank you, Irene. They say it takes a whole community to raise a child, but it also takes a whole community to hold its history dear to their hearts. We would like to thank Mayor Sewell and the Council of the RM of St. Andrews and the St. Andrews and area residents who supported us in our efforts over the years to again see Kennedy House open to the public. As we look to our past, we must also look to our future. We look forward to adding Kennedy House to the many tourism jewels in the Red River North that can be shared with everyone. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lois and Minister Guimard. Thank you all for being with us here today. And thank you to our speakers and for all our guests that came out in this frosty afternoon. And I forgot to mention, we're also joined here by one of our Red River Métis local residents, Bucky Anderson, who's bringing the music, the Métis Music Band, famous throughout Manitoba here for encouraging all the young children in Manitoba to get out and get jigging even in cold days like this. So thank you for being here. Miigwech, and I think we'll open it up to questions if anybody has any questions of the minister.
I think we're all cold.
Everybody's too cold?
Good news announcement.
Absolutely. Yes.